Welcome. Good morning, distinguished guests, speakers, and participants. It's my pleasure to welcome you all to the USA Nursing Career Expo and USRN Pathway Consult Recruitment Drive. We are honored to have such a distinguished group of professionals and experts here today. Your presence here today is a testament to the importance of the need to bridge the employment gap for nurses both globally and in Ghana also. The value that we all place on this recruitment of nurses to the United States, it shows that we are all interested. That is why we are here, isn't it? Yeah, we all want to know how to move there and how to, take a next step in our lives. So over the next few hours, we'll have the opportunity to engage in a rich and vibrant exchange of ideas, learning from one another and expanding our knowledge and understanding the processes involved in migrating to the United States as foreign educated nurses. So together we'll explore the latest research, trends, and best practices in the field and work together to identify solutions to some of the most pressing challenges we face when navigating through this process. I know a few of you have maybe started or tried this process and have gotten stuck at a point. Or maybe you messed up the CGFNS account. Or maybe you don't even know how to start. So we'll go through all of that today. So I'd like to extend a special welcome to our distinguished keynote speakers and panelists, Priscilla Kuma, the lead consultant and director of USRN Pathway Consult, Dixon Osei-Ebua, the deputy director and associate consultant, and Mr. Francis Obri-Adams, who is also a deputy director of USRN Pathway Consult and associate consultant. So these keynote speakers, they have expertise and insights that will help to guide our discussions and enrich our understanding of the issues at hand. We are truly fortunate to have such accomplished and esteemed individuals with us today. So you'll see them shortly. I would also like to express my gratitude to the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association for their tireless efforts in helping us organize this venue for us today. Their hard work and dedication have made this event possible, and we are all grateful for their contributions. So finally, I would like to thank all of you today for taking time to join us. I know it hasn't been easy locating the place and making time to come, but we really appreciate you coming all the way here to join us. Your participation and engagement are essential to the success of this conference. And I have no doubt that we will all benefit greatly from the knowledge and expertise that we will all bring to the table today. So before we start, I would like to point out a few provisions we have made for all our guests here. So first of all, to locate the washroom, you will use the door right here, turn right, and then turn left. That is where the washroom is located. And we also have a station for first aid, registration, and then very soon, our refreshments. That's the item 13. There will also be a Q&A session, and this will help everyone here to ask all the confusing questions and all the inquiries you need concerning this process. And we also have a little surprise for everyone. So please, I hope you stay with us till the end of the program. So this is how it's going to be. For this morning, we'll have a presentation by Priscilla Kuma. And then we'll also learn how to navigate the USRN Pathway website. I can see a lot of you have used our QR code and you're a bit confused as to how to navigate it. We will let you know everything about the website. So if you are still confused at this point, don't worry, we'll explain it to you. We also have we have a lot. we have a lot. So just try to pay attention. Try to stick around till the end of the program. We'll try our best to make things short so we can leave here early. So that's for the morning session that I just mentioned. We will go on a break and have some snacks, and then we'll come back with more videos, testimonials, and also go through the credentialing process, Board of Nursing registration, fingerprints, documents needed for travel, and a whole lot. So thank you again for this morning. Thank you again for coming with us, and I really hope you enjoy this program. Okay, so next on the agenda, we'd like to welcome Madam Priscilla Kuma. This welcome comes with a little surprise. So please pay attention.
Hello, everyone. On behalf of myself and USRN Pathway Consult team, I welcome you to this USA Nursing Career Expo and Recruitment Drive. My name is Priscilla Kuma. I'm a registered nurse. I come from Ghana. I live in New York State, America, where I practice as a registered nurse as well. And I am the lead consultant for USRN Pathway Consult. I have here with me 3 of my team members, Mr. Francis Obiri Adams, who is a case manager and an associate consultant, Mr. Dixon Osei-Yeboah, another case manager and associate consultant, and Madam Vida Bruce, who is our admin assistant, and others who are coordinating this event today. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for taking time out to be with us. Thank you for informing and bringing others along. I know we have nurses among us, we have non-nurses among us. I warmly welcome you. First of all, let me apologize for my absence and give you the reason why I could not make this event. I have been looking forward to being in Ghana. I have never been in Ghana since I left for the USA, and this has been a long coming trip. But unfortunately, so many factors beyond my control is the reason why I am not among you live today as expected. Unfortunately, a few days before my trip, I was diagnosed with COVID and pneumothorax. For those of you who do not know what that is, pneumothorax is a collapse of the lungs. So I had pneumothorax on the right side, and because of that, I will not be able to fly for several months. I have not been cleared to make a flight, unfortunately. My family have landed in Ghana, but I could not travel with them. This breaks my heart, but I cannot disappoint all those of you who have been waiting for this event. That is why the event must go on. I will be present, I'll join you live, I would follow and watch all the proceedings, and there's a very, very reliable team here to handle everything that you need to know. So the purpose for our gathering today is just a basic eye-opener event. USA has faced a lot of nursing shortage, and other countries have nurses sitting there unemployed or under-satisfied and underpaid. And I have taken it upon myself to assist my fellow African nurses and other nurses who did not school in the USA but want to work in USA. There's so much misinformation out there, and that is why I also established my YouTube channel where I bring information to you for free. This Career Expo is totally free, as you already know, and we're going to tell you about the job prospects and opportunities you have in America for yourself and your family. This event for now is geared towards registered nurses, psychiatric nurses, and midwives who want to work in USA. For now, these are the 3 categories we are dealing with: registered nurses, mental health nurses, and midwives. We do not work with nursing assistants and other healthcare professionals yet. I know many of you in the crowd are also non-nurses, who want to see if you have a future. There are opportunities there, but for now, these are the 3 categories of nurses we are dealing with. So this event starts from now till 5 p.m. We hope to break into sessions, and we hope to address all your questions. After registration, after the event, if you are convinced and you want to embark on this journey, please approach the registration desk and make your intentions known. This is also a recruitment drive. Our process is self-sponsorship. You fund the process yourself, and it gives you many advantages like direct hire jobs, where you are paid exactly what America pays its nurses, instead of going to an agency where you will not get your sign-up bonus, nor will you be given reimbursements of the cost you spent on your NCLEX. The case managers and the entire team would delve deeper into this as we go along with the event. Feel comfortable, relax, interact, ask questions, enjoy this event. Thank you so much for making it here. Once more, I render my apologies to you. I know lots of you have been waiting to see me in person, but circumstances beyond my control is the reason why I cannot be there. But definitely, I will be back home before you know it. So let me give you a little backstory about how UPC, USRN Pathway Consult, came to be. As I said, I schooled in Ghana, University of Ghana, where I got my bachelor's in nursing. I did my national service in La General Hospital. I further moved to work at 37 Military Hospital. I did that for about 7 years before I moved to the USA through a spousal visa. I did not come to USA through nursing agency. So there's so many information I wish I knew before coming to USA. Just like I did not know I can start the whole process whilst living in Ghana, so I can transfer over and have an easy transition. I got to USA before I started the process, and that took me 2 years. In the interim, I was working as a CNA, Certified Nurse Assistant, or PCT, Patient Care Technician, or Nurse Aide, or Carer, as most of you know it. I did 2 years of that before I finally wrote NCLEX, which is the USA Nursing Licensure you need to practice in USA. I did not know I could have started all this in Ghana. That is why I have taken it upon myself to give it back to society by sharing this information freely, so that those of you who intend to work in USA can start the process wherever you are watching or living in before you get into the country. So after I did all the paperwork, I did a credential evaluation through CGFNS, which took a lot of time. It was stressful. A lot of things were wrong with my paperwork. Throughout this struggle to get my paperwork done in 2 years, Sir Francis Obiri Adams, who is right here, was the one who assisted with my process and helped me get everything done. I got my ATT, authorization to test, and then I wrote NCLEX and passed 75 questions in less than 2 hours. So UPC existed back then, but UPC became a registered entity to operate 2022. We are fully registered to work and operate in Ghana as well as USA, which is good news. So as I said, we are a processing firm. We help you with all your NCLEX process so you write NCLEX and pass. We find you employers and you begin to live the American dream. We will talk more into details about what this entails. And we have a website, www.usrnpathwayconsult.com. That is where you register if you want to enroll. That is where you register if you want any of our services or if you want our UPC NCLEX Academy. We are a 3-member team, myself, Sir Francis, and Sir Dixon. The 3 faces you see on the website are the ones you should be dealing directly with. Madam Vida is our admin assistant, so aside these 4 people, you should not be talking to anybody. I am aware there are impersonators out there, there are scammers out there, just be careful. NCLEX is doable. Many are panicking, especially this April where the new generation NCLEX, NGN, started. Many people are panicking, they think they cannot do it. fine, it's frustrating, it's lengthy, it's capital intensive, but it's doable. Many of us have done it, and I'm just encouraging you. Among the people sitting here today are several NCLEX passers. Some of them are NCLEX tutors. Some of them are applicants. Thank you to all the applicants who were enrolled and still have come here today to listen to this program and enlighten others. Thank you all for the referrals. One person enrolls and brings about 5 people. Thank you very much for helping UPC grow. We are in the process of achieving our dreams, and my vision for UPC is that every Ghanaian will have access to the information they need without struggling like how some of us did. We hope that everybody will get a nursing career improvement. You should have access to education, and you should have access to quality life for yourself, your family, especially your children. The good thing about America and why I will choose America and over again is that you get a green card, not a work visa. You get a green card, and after 5 years, you can transfer that into a citizenship if you want. If not, you can keep renewing every 10 years. Thank you to our immigration experts. Thank you to everybody who has taken time off to be here. I do not want to take so much of your time. Bear with me. I want to thank my team. I cannot thank you enough. Thank you for holding it down for me in my absence. I know I have a trusted team. I was not worried when everything turned out the way it did, because I know you will deliver. We have a very, very competent, united, hardworking, smart team members, and most of you who have dealt with that or are still dealing with us can testify to that. We are a virtual office. People ask that a lot. We operate virtually. We can do everything for you at the comfort of your home. We do not need to see you in person to handle your documents. This is not just for Ghanaian nurses. We deal with people who schooled outside the US who want to work in USA, because the process is the same. Whether you schooled in Turkey, whether you schooled in Iraq, whether you schooled in Russia, whether you schooled in Nigeria, the process is the same. So if you know anybody who is interested, we provide our services to all international registered nurses, mental health nurses, and midwives. For my fellow UK trained nurses who are worried, we have the pathway for you, and I've shared that before on my YouTube channel. Thank you very much to all spouses supporting their wives on this journey. We see you and we appreciate you. It's going to be worth it, because when you also join your wife or your husband and come to America, there are several job prospects, and you by all means find something to do to make ends meet. I pray for strength and financial growth for all of you, so that you'll be able to embark on this journey. You will not regret it. Living in America and working in America, the prestige that it comes with, financial benefit that comes with it, the several opportunities that would be opened to you cannot be quantified with words. Once more, enjoy yourself. There's refreshments, interact with the team, ask all your questions, and you can always reach us by email as well. Our information are all on our website. You can reach us via text. You can reach us via email. I will pop in here once more to tell you about my life as an international registered nurse from Ghana, working in USA, living the American dream, and why you should also embark on this journey, or your loved ones should also be encouraged to embark on this journey. Thank you. Enjoy the program.
Unfortunately, Prisa couldn't join us because just when she was preparing to come, she tested positive for COVID-19. And we all know the arrangements when it comes to that. You can't travel if you test positive. So unfortunately, that is why she couldn't join us today. But at least I'm still happy that even after watching the video with disappointments written on your face, you still paid attention to what she had to say. So thank you so much for listening. So next on the agenda, we need to know how to navigate the USRN website. So I will invite Mr. Francis Obri-Adams to help us go through the website and know how to navigate our way through it. So please, Francis.
Hello. Welcome to you all. My name is Francis, and I do so many things for USRN Pathway Consult. At this point, I'll just tell you what I do one of the things I do is to be the case manager for RGNs. So is there someone who has enrolled with UPC here? If you're an RGN and you have never seen me before, then here I am. Anyway, so I believe before you entered, you saw the QR code posted on the gate, and we asked you to scan. Immediately you scanned, it took you straight to our website. If you haven't done so at the moment, and if you haven't registered, don't worry. That is why we are here. USRN Pathway Consult, as Priscilla said, is something that was created out of passion to just help nurse colleagues who want to realize their American dream and then make it as smooth, as simple as possible. So if you want this journey to be so smooth, so simple, so possible for you, then you are the right place, I tell you. People who have joined UPC have never regretted, and I know you will never regret making this decision. Because of technology, we have taken advantage of the improvement of technology to operate a virtual office. So usually we get calls. I want to know where your office is located so that I join you at your office for you to explain ABC to me. Then we tell the people we operate a virtual office. What is a virtual office? Well, it is practically an office entirely based on the internet. And because of such a virtual office, we needed a website. UPC just started on WhatsApp, actually. But just about 3 weeks into the operation of the company, we created this beautiful website that I'm about to explain to you. USRN Pathway Consult.com. This is what we use for everything UPC. Very secured, very simple, easy to navigate, and you will love it. So I believe most of us have smartphones here connected to the internet. So if you wouldn't mind, this is the website. You can log on to the website right now. www.usrnpathwayconsult.com. We're going to do some little exercise so that we all appreciate the website we are talking about. Because this is what we'll be using for practically everything. Priscilla said UPC is a 3-member team. That is true. But we have so many back office staff. She mentioned one of them, the lady who just presented to you and introduced myself, Vida. But beyond that, we have our accounts department. We have our IT support. We have our travel and tour support. We have so many people behind the website. So today, we are going to help you to know what is behind the website. There are people behind the website and what you will achieve by way of the website. So I believe everybody has opened to www.usrnpathwayconsult.com. If you're not able to do so, pretty soon it might be projected on the screens for you to see. All right. So let me see by hands those who are having difficulty logging on to our website right now. Okay. So if you're having difficulty logging on to the website, here is it projected in here for you. So the website says a lot about us, and the opening image just says that we are a processing firm that specializes in helping educated general nurses, midwives, psychiatric nurses convert their foreign education to meet the American standard. to be able to work in the United States of America as registered nurses. Priscilla has actually spoken to you about what we do as UPC, and everything is listed here. Don't get confused if you don't understand some of the services that we provide. This conference is here to help you know everything into details, and even if you have questions, we are free and you can ask all these questions. So you can see some of the things we do as UPC. This is not a conclusive list. We do so much, but this is just a few that we have listed on our website. All right. So there are frequently asked questions. Even if you are not able to ask us personally, there are so many other questions that people would like to know. For instance, can a diploma nurse work in the USA? Can a diploma nurse work in the USA? This is an interactive website, so it helps you and it explains to you. The answer is yes. Diploma and bachelor degree holders can work in the USA. What about this question? How long does the process take? How long does the process take? Well, our estimate shows that it can take as less as 9 months to 2 years, depending on the applicant. So this is an interactive website that educates you based on what you're looking for. If you scroll down, you'll see the 3-member UPC team. That is Priscilla right there. That's a Dixon and myself. This picture was taken long ago. So, if you're interested in starting your USRN journey, then you can get in touch with us. These are our official phone numbers. We are emphasizing on the official phone numbers because you will never receive a call from any other number aside these numbers. So please take note. You will never receive a call or a text from any other number aside the numbers provided on this website. The first one is a call line. It's a call line. That is our official Ghana number. The other one is our official US number, and that is a WhatsApp-only number. So please do not call that number. You may not receive a response. If you want an information, you can just call. If you want that information, you can safely call 050-8931-070. That is our only official Ghana number. Please, if someone calls you with any other number claiming to come from USRN Pathway Consult, please consider it fraud. You might be throwing your money away. You can contact us on LinkedIn and then our email address as well. What if you just want a quick response to an information and you can't wait? That is why we have that section, Contact Us, next to the numbers that we have displayed. Just put in your full name, your email address, type in your questions, and our back office support will respond to you in real time. Maybe it might take just 20 minutes, at best 24 hours, but you will receive a response. So if you need any question concerning USRN Pathway Consult, these are the places to go. Once again, please do not go anywhere looking for information. Do not pay nothing to nobody looking for information. Else, you might get frauded. It may not be us. All right, so this is just the home page of our website. What I spoke about can be seen in the tabs at the top bottom of our website. Anyway, so most of you had the opportunity to start the registration process on our website. Those of you who were here pretty much early. And some had some few difficulties, and I told them that there will be a section for us to do so. So let's do this exercise together. Unfortunately, our internet provision can just handle just so much. So just a few of you have logged in on our internet service. The rest of you, please, you can buy some data and let's do this together. So, supposing you are so convinced about USRN Pathway Consult, and you want to now embark on that journey, which we so much recommend, what do? Obviously, you will not call your friend. You will not go to Facebook. You will not call any other number apart from what we are telling you. But you will log on to this website, and on the very first page, either the top right-hand corner or just the very first page after the introduction, you will see register or login. Register means you are a first-timer on the website. You are not registered with USRN Pathway Consult, and you are in for registration. So what do? You just click on register. And this is where it brings you. Such a simple, straightforward navigation. One more announcement, please. Toyota Yaris, GW253916. Please contact the attendants for an information. Toyota Yaris 253916. Please contact the attendants for an information. So when you come up here onto our website, what do? If you're a first timer, you just go to sign up. So let's all go to sign up if we are first timers. Let's all go to sign up. I'm also signing up. So for the purposes of demonstration, one of us who is also a first timer is going to demonstrate how to register on the website for you to see. But you can also follow suit with your personal information. So let's do this project together. Let's do this exercise together. Put in your full name. And we emphasize your full legal name. So please, you can do that. Our client today is Vida Bruce. So that's our new client today. All right. So have you all inputted your full name? Are we good to go? Then please put in your phone number. Your phone number. Your personal phone number. And then follow suit with your email address. So let's all put in our email address at this section. Remember, this login information is what you are going to use for the entire process. So keep the information you are inputting right now. Let's all put our email address and create a password. Now, this password should be known only to yourself. This password should be known only to yourself. So please do that right now by creating a password, a secured password for the journey. So that is the first phase. Please, who is having difficulty, we can help you. You can just put up your hand. All right, so once you're able to do that, I think. All right, so here we are. Once you're able to put in your password, it brings you right here. And this is a very important section of the website. A very important section of the website. So let's pay attention. It says that agree to our checklist to start application. First of all, to register with us, you will need to have a valid passport. Very necessary because you want to travel. So, to enroll with us, you agree that you have a valid passport. And if you do, then you have a passport number. So you put in here. Don't worry if you don't have your passport number handy here. You can follow and then go home to repeat the same thing later. So let's put our passport number here. And then the second thing says that to register with us, you also agree that you have an active nursing license. And you will see the importance of the nursing license as we do the second part of the presentation. So you agree that you have your nursing license and it is active. UPC enroll nurses only. So you must have a nursing license if you're a nurse. Either a midwifery license, psychiatry license, or a general nursing license. You're good to go. Or even a specialty license. You're good to go. So you agree that you have such a document. Then you also agree that you've been to school. And because you've been to school, you have either a diploma or degree or any other thing beyond diploma or degree. But the basic ones are diploma or degree. So you also agree that you have such, you qualify in this regard as well. Then you agree that obviously once you have your nursing license, you are either a midwife, general nurse, or a psychiatric nurse. Maybe you might be wondering, where are the community health nurses? Why don't you see it here? Or the public health nurses? Why I'm a public health nurse. Why don't I find my name here? Stay tuned. You will understand. Anyway, finally, you agree to the terms and conditions of USRN Pathway Consult. It is plenty, but we might just highlight a few. So please let us see the terms and conditions here. So it's just basically what we are trying to tell you, that these are the terms and conditions. Some of the things you agreed to. You can just scroll up briefly for us to see some of the terms and conditions you agreed to. So this is what you are agreeing to by enrolling with us. Please take your time and read. Okay? Take your time and read. So we have so different categories of applicants, and you might fall in one of these categories, and that will explain to you what next for you. Please, let's continue with our registration. Are we all good at this point? Okay, that's a good feedback. So the website is what we use for everything from payments to even your NCLEX class. So anything beyond this website probably may not be coming from us. So once you agree to the terms and conditions, this is the registration page. We will take certain information from you. For instance, your first name. So if you missed your middle name at the beginning of the registration, this is where to put it. You can do that right now. So your first name, your middle name, your email address, once again, if you made a mistake. For now, when it comes to sex, we only have male and female. For now. The USRN Pathway Consult websites only ascribe these two genders at the moment. And you can put on your date of birth. Are you married? Your country of birth. What language do you speak fluently? And have you conducted a background check, police background check before? There's a scroll down button. You can just pick yes or no for each of those variables. Don't worry if you're not able to input all this because you have a phone. Just follow through, okay? Just follow through. Where is our applicant coming from? Aruba, Australia. Okay. Angola is fine. So just follow through on the registration process. It's quite involving, pretty much detailed, but this is what you need for your process. Have you done a background check before? If you have, okay. If you haven't, you can just choose the appropriate option. And let's save and continue. The next page brings you to your contact information. So your address 1, address 2. This address could be those plates fixed on your wall, the walls on your house. So probably your PO box and then the other one posted by Ghana Post on your wall, ST24 Street or any other thing, your house number. Most of the variables are mandatory, so you cannot skip them because we'll use this information for your process. So we want to gather them as quickly as possible. Let's put in our home address, our state, region, phone number, postcode, and then some emergency numbers. So even if you're not able to do it now, just observe, so that you'll be able to do it later. Okay, so that's our emergency number. We save and continue. We save and continue. So if you are following, you can do so. Right, this brings us to our educational background. Our educational background. And we'll start with our GHS, not our primary school. Our GHS. The consult is moving away from a particular company which requires your primary school, so we'll begin with our GHS. So you can put your GHS here. Those of you who attended GSS, it is still GHS. So where is the school located? So you can tell us whether your school has been closed down, merged, or still the same. Some of us don't remember when we wrote our BECE. Just ask your friend. Some wrote it in 93. So you can put the correct figures there when you're actually doing the registration. That's fine. So our school, fortunately, has not been merged or closed down. So we move on to our senior high school. If you attended Achimota Senior High School, you can do that. If you came from Accra Girls, you can do that. If you also came from Abri Girls, you can do that. And if you came from my school, you can do that as well. Whether you wrote SSC or BEC does not matter. Your school is still SHS at the moment. So all secondary schools in Ghana are now SHS. So some of us obtained WASI, others obtained SSC. Please write the appropriate certificate that you obtained after your high school. And then tell us whether your school still exists or has been merged. All right, so beyond the secondary school, we move on to what qualified you as a nurse. What qualified you as a nurse? And that is your tertiary information. Please, if you have done some courses, maybe you attended Legon and you were a general economic student, and then after Legon, you went to Nabita and you did diploma in nursing. Please do not put your economics at Legon here. We only require what qualified you as a nurse for the first time in your life, be it degree or diploma. But then some of our folks also started with a certificate program. That is how you entered into that space for the first time. You can begin with it as well. You can begin with it as well. So, health concern. From health concern, I went to Kwadaso SDA. And then beyond that, I went to Garden City University. And then I did my master's at University of Ghana Public Health. And then I did my PhD in Canada. And then I became this place. This is the space for you. As we go on, you realize that your master's and your PhD really may not matter for this program. So you can stop at your degree. So there's an option for those who attended both diploma and the degree program, or those who did just one. So depending on what you choose, the pages will open. It looks like our applicant attended both. So what is her nursing college name? Is it Kwadaso SDA or Kolebu NMTC or Pantang, Ankafu? Please put it there for us. So these are some of the information we'll be taking from you. So you give her the address of your school, and then you try to remember when you entered and when you exited, and the kind of certificate you obtained after enrolling in that school. So she had a diploma in general nursing. or in midwifery? Maybe beyond that, she went to Central University to do a 2-year program to earn her BSc. She can add that right now. Okay, these dates are fine. You can just let us know whether the school has been merged or not. Okay, so let's save and continue. Beyond your school information, now, because you're a nurse, we will need your professional information regarding your license. So this is where you put your information, your professional title, registered general nurse, registered midwifery officer, whatever you are, just put it here for us. Then you tell us when your license expires. Now, the license issue date is not what you have on the card. It's not what you have on the card. The license issue date is the date you have on your NMC certificate. Let's take note. Some of you have been practicing for 20 years, but when you pick up your card, it tells you they issued this card to you in 2015. That is not your license issue date. Just pick up your NMC certificate. If you are old nurse, you realize that thing with the picture in the middle with the red background, and then they have used felt pen to write the date. The date of issue on that paper is your license issue date. But if you're a modern nurse, someone who graduated from school quite recently, you have that printout, and the date is written, I think, at the bottom page that this was issued on this date. Please, that is your license issue date. Let's take note. But the expiring date is what you have on your card, your NMC card. The expiring date is what you have on your NMC card. So you tell us whether your license is active or not. Preferably, we want an active license. And if it is not active at the moment, you tell us why it is not active. We may help you with that. And then, which date did you pass your licensure? When did you pass your licensure? Please, if you pick your licensure pass results slip, you have that date written boldly on it. So those of us who have misplaced ours, we can ask our colleagues. The licensure pass results slip. You know, when you passed your exam, you were given a results slip. That date is written boldly on it. And then you tell us how many times you wrote the exam. It doesn't matter. It doesn't change nothing. You are a nurse. So if you're able to satisfy this information, we save and continue. So at this point, we are just doing data gathering. Then, where do you work currently? Where do you work? You just give us a brief overview of where you work right now. A brief overview of where you work right now. Please, we will not come to your office. We just need that information for your process, okay? So what if I've worked in Somee, Koforidua, Accra, Tamale, and currently I'm back to Accra? Which one should I write? Where you work today. And then there's an option to list all the other places you have worked for us, okay? There's an option to do that. So you realize that behind the website is a whole project for you to do and make the information as accurate as possible, because that is what our data processing unit is going to use for your process. And then you realize that one mistake can cost you a lifetime. So please input the correct information. Correct information. So your applicant says, I am her supervisor. I don't know her. And she says, the person said DDNS. What is DDNS? Okay, the big boss. So the primary language you speak at work, practically English. Even though we don't speak it with our colleagues, that is what we used to think. We think in English. So that is our primary language. And then over here, 37 Military Hospital, Kolebu, Rage, wherever, just list them there. You can just put one other hospital there and let's move on. UGMC, that's fine. So now we have collected basically every information we need from you. Hello?
After entering the places you've worked, do you need to write like the dates where you entered? Like if I started at 37, then maybe went to UGMC, or do I include the dates?
You just list the name of the facilities, that's all. So if beyond your general nursing, if you have done any specialty, maybe you are ophthalmic nurse, ENT nurse, which other one? Pediatric nurse, or theater nurse. Is that how you call it? Theater nursing. Please, just put it here. And if you have done some other workshops, you can list them here. Tell us what kind of workshop it was, and then we'll pick it up from there. So the USRN Pathway Consult website, it's something that is bigger than the front page you see. So now we've gone through step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and step 6. Finally, we're going to talk about something that doesn't put smiles on a lot of people's faces. Money. Money. Dollars. Dollars. How much is the dollar rate today? 10? 10.5? 11. 10.25. Okay. So, after committing yourself all the way from page 1 to 6, it is time for case manager Dixon to make some money. A token. See, when you look at your salary right now and someone says you should bring 6,000 Ghana cedis, it looks like twice your salary, isn't it? There is. But you see where I'm standing right now? This is Ghana. And I'm going here. I can't just vanish. I have to work. And work, those of you who did physics, it says what? Work is force by distance. Up for the distance, it's always constant. It's just here. America to Ghana will never change. But the force is dollar. And the dollar rate changes. So, our fee is $400. One-time payment. You not give us any money again for ourselves. This is what we'll charge you for the entire process. That money comes into Dixon's pocket. It comes into Dixon's pocket. When he employed me, he said I should charge you 400 USD. And the 400 USD can be paid in CD equivalent or dollar. But you pay on the website. We understand the situation today. I was saying that $400 is just like 2 times your salary, and someone said it's 3. 4. So we have a provision for you. At this point, we have a provision for you. Our nurses in Ghana, those who work in Ghana and collect Ghana cedi into their wallets, just select, tell us that USRN, we are Ghanaian nurses working in Ghana. We haven't traveled to UK. We are not earning pounds. We haven't traveled to America yet. So if that is the case, we have an option for you. Pay in 2 installments, but same $400. But pay in 2 installments. $200 upfront. And then the other in 90 days. The other in 90 days. And by which time your process has gone far ahead. So you can save towards that. You pay on the website either with your card or mobile money. Vodafone Cash, Airtel Money, MTN Momo. Once you pay, once this payment goes through, you have registered with USRN Pathway Consult, and you are Mr. Dixon's client. We now take charge of your process. As we said, we are a processing company. The USRN journey is quite a tedious one. Combined with work and studying for NCLEX, it's never going to be easy. So we put you on a cruise control as we do the dirty work for you. You become your errand boys. So just pay half, but if you have enough money and you want to just pay one time, that's up to you, but there's an option to just pay half. Once you make this payment, within 24 hours, one of our back office staff will contact you. So if you are a general nurse, when you registered, she will assign you to a case manager. Now, the word case manager is someone assigned personally to you to help you from day one till you get to America. They will share his contact with you. They will share his contact with you. And then he will now walk you. So this becomes not like what we are doing, but one-on-one. So whatever question you have, whatever is bothering your mind, your case manager will be there to guide you. And the case managers we have at USRN Pathway Consult have been doing this for years. So they can reduce your anxiety. Even if you don't have money, they can reduce that anxiety for you. You will not be thinking about money. We recommend USRN Pathway Consult to you because the process is quite expensive, but we break it down to the point that you are able to do it, even with your mega salary. So at this point, this is an introduction to our USRN Pathway Consult website, and that is what we'll be using throughout our process. Please do not go to any other website to check information aside this, else we won't be responsible for who takes your money. We rest assured that we will not take your money and run away. We'll take your money and stay with you and go all the way to the end. Pretty soon you will hear some testimonies, people who have enrolled with us and where they are right now. So thank you very much for listening to me, and I'll leave the floor for Vida.
Hi, everybody. I hope you are enjoying the program. It's me again. I'm back. I am here to tell you about the USRN dream, what it takes to be a nurse here, and the reality on ground and the life of a nurse, and why you should embark on this journey. In my little intro, I mentioned to you how I schooled in Ghana, University of Ghana, got my bachelor's, that's a BSN, worked for a while, and then moved to the USA. Worked as a CNA, nurse aide, for 2 years before I was able to write NCLEX. And as I said, I wish I knew I could have started the journey back in Ghana before leaving Ghana. Okay. So the first step to all this is credential evaluation, of which most of you know of or have already heard. You have to submit your nursing education plus your professional education documents to be evaluated by certain stated credential evaluation companies in America here. And that can delay or jeopardize your process depending on what you submit, how you submit it, and the company you choose. So I did mine with CGFNS, the most popular one that everybody knows. And it was hell, it was stressful, documents got missing and a whole lot, but I got the evaluation. And the next thing is getting the board to approve that, board approval. And then getting your ATT authorization to test. And then going to Pearson VUE to register and take the examination. That is a process, but that's just the basic summary. Fingerprinting and all the stuff come in between. And NCLEX tutorship. Let me use this chance to highlight some of the achievements of UPC. UPC was established somewhere 2022, fully registered and operational in 2022. Nurses enrolled, and one of our nurses enrolled in July 2022. Enrolled the NCLEX in March 2023 and passed. From enrollment to credential evaluation to all the processes that come in between, it took 6 months. That is record-breaking. It has never happened anywhere before. It took us 6 months to get our fastest applicants to enroll, write, and pass. Over the days, we've enjoyed a lot of successes and NCLEX passes. We've had a smooth transition. We established our NCLEX Academy, 16 weeks, thorough NCLEX Academy from beginner to intermediate to mastery class. Everything we do is done virtually. We have a smooth fingerprinting exercise that we do organize every month for people in Ashanti region and its environs, and for people in and around the Greater Accra region. We accept non-UPC nurses as well. If you are with an agency and you sign up with them, they just leave everything for you to do. They do not show you how to go about it. You can enroll or reach out to UPC and we would help tackle just one aspect. If they want you to do credential evaluation, we can do that for you. If they want you to do fingerprinting and you don't know where to get a fingerprinting card and all that, we are able to handle that for you. If you want to do your nursing and midwifery council NMC clearance and you don't know how to go about it, we can handle that for you. We have unit services we provide. And you can always contact us for any of those services. So, back to my USRN journey. I wrote the NCLEX in 75 questions, less than 2 hours. My computer shut down. I passed the NCLEX. Unfortunately for me, I do not know what all of you here know about this journey. I studied the hard way. I handled everything the hard way. There was no information about any of this process, especially no Ghanaian YouTuber in USA telling us what she did and how she did it. I am the first to bring that information out about USA Nursing Pathway to tell you how it's done and what you should be doing. So, without tuition and everything, I did everything the hard way and passed the NCLEX. And then I had to get a job. A lot happened in between that. But after I felt better because I had a break due to some medical personal reasons, I applied for a job. I applied for 2 jobs. They all got back to me. One of them said, "We will take you as an RN1 because the levels of nursing in America starts with numbers, RN1, RN2, RN3. I am currently RN3. Yes. So the first one said, "We'll take you as an international nurse as RN1, but we will also do our own educational background check in your country." I said, wait a minute. For me to go through all this credential evaluation to work in New York, that means my credential evaluation has been done, my background check has been done before I even got a chance to write the NCLEX. So what's the point? They said it was a formality and they have to do that. So I said, okay. The second company said, we will take you as RN2 because experience is experience regardless of where you had it. And we don't do any background checks. So it's obvious what I chose. I decided to go with the second company. So I was hired and placed as RN2. If you're a new graduate straight from school, they place you at RN1. 6 months you're on probation and they upgrade you from there. And I wasn't a new graduate, so I was not going to work as a new graduate RN1. And I was not going to wait for anybody to do my credential evaluation. Anyway, long story short, I started my first job as an RN on a med-surg floor. Med-surg floors, medical surgical floors are always short-staffed and they're always looking for people. That is why most agencies place emphasis on bedside nursing. They place emphasis on bed capacity because American nursing is entirely different. And they think that if you're on med-surg floors back in Ghana or wherever you're watching or working in, it will be closer to and easier to transition into the USRN role. But I always say, a registered nurse is always a registered nurse. If you have the certificates to prove, the education to prove, nobody should discriminate against you or reject you because you are not working on a med-surg floor. We all cannot work on a med-surg floor. Anyway, so I've always worked on a med-surg floor my entire life in Ghana. Even though I had a medical OPD in 37th and then I moved outpatient in 37, it was always medical, surgical centered, you know? Okay, so I did a med-surg floor, did that for some years, and I said, I think this is enough. About 10 years at med-surg, it is time to make a change. So I moved outpatient to an outpatient imaging sciences department, or basically radiology, where we have like x-rays, MRI, CT scans, contrast dye, contrast allergy, mediports, IVAD, assessing, de-assessing, triaging, stuff like that. The job opportunities are so many. You can work in a nursing home, you can work in hospice, you can work in the hospital bedside, doctor's office, you can be a school nurse. There are so many job opportunities here. You do not necessarily to work in the hospital or at bedside. I always also encourage all nurses who have the chance to meet CNAs or nurse aides. If you already live in USA or you have a chance, it's also a good smooth transition for you to see how the healthcare system is and how the hospital setting is and how you can transition easily. But just know that after you go through the whole process and you write NCLEX and you pass NCLEX and you get an RN job, you will be given an orientation or preceptorship. It will not be less than 3 months. 12 weeks of intense orientation, classroom orientation, hands-on orientation, bedside orientation, simulation lab orientation. You will not be left alone because healthcare system here is very intense, and nobody will leave you alone to make mistakes and get sued. Unfortunately for we that are in Ghana or in Africa, the only NCLEX center we have is South Africa, and this affects the cost of the process a lot because you'd have to travel there to write the NCLEX. There are other NCLEX centers that we can use. There are some in Turkey, Brazil, India that people have been going through. We always choose the one that is smooth sailing for you to go and come back and pass your NCLEX successfully too. Trust me, you are in capable hands. We have people who have given testimonies and people who will be giving testimonies. Relax, watch, make an informed decision. Just know that you can start now and you do not need to get all the money in bulk before you can embark on this journey. They are in phases, stage by stage. You pay as you go for the ones that you can afford. Our prices are very reasonable because, as I said, this is to give back to society. People are charging more than that. The agencies who are saying you will not pay a dime end up taking your sign-up bonus of about up to $12,000 from you. You will not even know you got a referral bonus because they strike a deal between themselves and the hospitals. So they make money on top of you, but you will not receive any of that. Self-sponsorship, as I said, gives you direct higher opportunities. So, my life as a USRN. I live in upstate New York, where cost of living is low. There are so many places you can live based on what you want. There are 50 states. You can work in any of the 50 states. You can work in the cities. You can work in the suburbs, just like any city in the world. If you're living in Accra, your cost of living is not the same as somebody who is living in Ho. The cost of living and the salary ends are balancing. In the big cities, they'll pay you more, but your bills will take them away. The accommodation, your mortgage will take them away. In the suburbs, you would also be paid average and your cost of living will be low. What you will pay for rent or mortgage would not be the same as what somebody will pay for rent or mortgage in the bigger city. People who have younger families, I always encourage you to choose the suburbs to be able to raise their kids. The cities are busy with traffic, waking up early, catching buses. You're living on a penthouse, 45th floor somewhere, no compound for the kids to play and exercise their skills. But the choice is entirely yours, where you decide to live. There are so many nursing opportunities. You can come and after 1 year, you do a bridge program, what we call a top-up program. If you have diploma, you can get your bachelor's. If you have your bachelor's, you can go ahead and get your master's. If you have master's, you can go and get your PhD. If you want to specialize in oncology, nursing, gerontology, if you want to become a nurse practitioner, all the opportunities are there. The schools will be emailing you and calling you and bombarding you with emails as to why you should enroll with them. And they have good deals that you can apply for and have student loans and pay them in bits. You can specialize in any field you want. Many people ask me, I have a diploma, I want to come and do my degree here. Can I find it? That is not how it works. You need to write the NCLEX first, be a USRN first, before you can top up or do the bridge program. So you cannot escape it. You need the English Proficiency Test, IELTS, for your visa processing for immigration purposes. We do not look at English tests as a requirement to start enrolling with UPC. Those agencies require that and it's their policy, but we do not require birth capacity, we do not require years experience, we do not require English tests before you enroll with us. If you do national service rotation, after that 12 months, you are given a nursing pin. So far as you have a nursing pin, this process is a lengthy one. By the time you are done, you have acquired that 1 to 2 years experience. All I will encourage you to have is a license number and an active passport. If you do not have a passport for yourself or your family who would travel with you in the future, I encourage you to get a passport for yourself, your spouse, and children because you will need it and you cannot rush the passport office in Ghana. Someone would ask, why should I do self-sponsorship when somebody else is doing it for free? The advantages of paying for your own process. Number one, direct hire jobs. If they are paying me $20, you, the international nurse, will get the same thing if you are working at the same facility. Agencies strike their own rates and reduce it, and they'll give you like 15 and give you like 6,000 hours to clear off. That is about 3 years of being under contract. And you all know what happens if you want to break that contract. You have to pay them back, sometimes as high as $40,000 before you can pay them back what you owe them. They have spent money and time on you. But if you do the self-sponsorship and have your NCLEX results, companies, the employers will be rushing you. The employers love NCLEX passes. They will do everything to get you over. And you would have the bargaining power. You're going to be able to tell them, look, I have 10 years experience and I'm not willing to throw it away. How much will you pay for my 10 years experience? Look, I specialize, I'm a critical care nurse and these are my documents. How much will you pay me for this specialization? Look, I want you to pay for this. I want you to pay for this. I do not like your contracts. I do not like your terms. You set the pace. You set the tone. You tell them how much they should be paying you. As I said, I had to bargain for my RN2. I am currently RN3. RN3 takes project work, defending, presentation and all. And when they deem it fit, they'll give you that. So for most of you international nurses, you are likely going to be placed on RN2 level when you bargain for it. If you keep quiet, you'll be placed at RN1 as a new grad. They will throw all your years experience away. So the main focus should be passing NCLEX. When you get the employer, in that on your resume and in the employment interview, you have to use that to sell yourself. You have to be very confident. You have to tell them this and this and this is what I've invested in my nursing career all these years, and I want to see value for money. And UPC will train and coach you as to how you can do that to be able to get what you want. At the end of this program, if you are convinced that you are interested, come register on our website and we'll start your onboarding program. Most of you are already with us and you know how that goes. When you register, enroll, do the payments, we do an orientation for you, and then right away we start your credential evaluation. You get yourself into the next available NCLEX tuition class, get your studies on, and then write NCLEX, get an employer, and we proceed. I do not want to bore you too much. Thank you once more. Enjoy the rest of the program. Carry the good news. Go tell others, friends, colleagues, family members who are registered nurses, midwives, or psychiatry nurses who want to work in USA. And for my fellow nurses who are specialized, registered nurses and midwives, once again, you will be writing the NCLEX RN. The NCLEX meant for registered nurses is what you would also write, and you practice as an RN here. You cannot practice as a midwife or a psychiatry nurse because the routes to get that in America is entirely different. You need to have your bachelor's first, write NCLEX, get not less than 1 year experience, go and do midwifery as master's program, write another NCLEX before you can practice as such. That does not mean that you cannot work in a labor delivery ward as an RN. You can work anywhere as an RN because you've written the NCLEX RN. Same applies to my mental health nurses, that is behavioral sciences. There are so many behavioral facilities here that you can work in. There are so many LAC units, Alzheimer's LAC units, Alzheimer's units. There are so many schools you can work. There are so many programs you can work with kids who have developmental delays and other genetic conditions going on. The job prospects are vast and you cannot even fill them. Every single hospital, every single unit is short-staffed. Where I work, they actually offer you $5,000 to just tell them you know a nurse, recommend a nurse to them, and you'll be paid $5,000 for telling them about this nurse if the nurse accepts the job offer. That is how desperate America is, and it will break my heart for most nurses that are homeless, for most nurses that are jobless or are home or are not happy about the condition of service to still remain in Ghana awaiting posting from the government. No, 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 no. Please embark on this journey, and I'm telling you, you will never regret it. Thank you to all of you who are watching from wherever. Thank you for signing on to join us. Thank you for making time to be here. Thank you to the entire team. I do not want to bore you. As I said, I am still recovering. I'm still recuperating. So I need some time to rest. And I cannot wait to meet you all in person. I'm so sorry to disappoint you. It breaks my heart that I cannot make it. I've looked forward to this. I've made announcements publicly to be among you. But we cannot cancel the program because I know most of you are looking forward to this information. And I hope this seminar or webinar has been fruitful and you are enjoying it so far. Thank you for your time, and I will be back with my full self when the time is right.
Why, is it too good to be true or what? Yeah, so it's true. $5,000 just for, we call it referral fees. After you had passed your NCLEX exams, we approach our hospitals. Look, we have this NCLEX passer. Can you sponsor his or her green card? And they will give us that money. And you will be entitled to what we call a sign-on bonus. So we will talk more on that. Yeah, so before I present, there's few clarity that I want to make, especially midwife and psychiatric nurses here. So ordinary midwifery or psychiatric nursing supposed to be a post-basic education. I mean, across many African countries and even the advanced countries, you need to do your general nursing first. Then if you want to go into midwifery or psychiatry, you do a post-basic education on that. Now in Ghana, right from, let's say, level 100 or first year, you just go into that specialty. So in US, before you can call yourself as a midwife or a psych nurse, midwifery is you are more like a consultant. You don't even work at the ward. I mean, to carry that title that you are a midwife. So what happened is that after you had passed the NCLEX exams, though you'll be working at the labor and, childcare and all those stuff, but you cannot call yourself that you are a midwife. You will be playing the role of a midwife, but you can't call yourself that you are a midwife because at the first degree level, we don't have that specialty. So you'll be working, labor and intensive OPD and all that, but you are all classified as an RN, USRN. So after your first degree, you want to go into that specialty, then you further your education, then you become that midwife consultant or that behavioral nurse consultant. So that's the clarity and we are able to help you convert your midwifery education to match that of the US system. So it all had to do with the credential evaluation that you will use. And because we've been doing this process over the years, we know a board of nursing that will accept your background. So I will highly recommend that if you are a midwife or a psychiatric nurse and want to write the NCLEX exams, I recommend UPC for you. Because no one knows that trick and how to navigate the process. We've had midwives that have passed their NCLEX, they are in the immigration stage. Psychiatric nurses that have passed their NCLEX, they are in the immigration stage. So no one should deceive you that you are a midwife and you cannot write the NCLEX exam. You are a psych nurse and you cannot write the NCLEX exams. Is that clear? Is that clear? So this platform is an information sharing that we want to give you the opportunity to be knowledgeable about the process. Madam Presla is from Ghana. The whole team, the whole crew, we are all Ghanaians, and we want to use this opportunity to help a lot. Achieving your USRN dream is feasible if you get the right people to help you navigate the process. We have our NCLEX Academy that will train you. We have a virtual class and in-person class. So whilst you focus on your NCLEX tutorial class, we will be doing all the paperwork for you. We have more than 50 states in America, and it's not every state that will be favorable to you in terms of their own licensing regime and requirement. We have states that if you select, you will get stuck. There are states that will require you to have what we call a social security number. You are living outside US. How do you get a social security number? So if you just go to the internet and, I want to do it myself, you will get stuck and you waste money at that point. So it's important that you allow the consultant to handle all those paperwork for you whilst you concentrate on your NCLEX tutorials. Don't be bothered about the kind of facility I'm working in. I've approached Avant, I've approached O'Grady. They are saying my bed capacity. It shouldn't be a challenge for you at all, because they are an agency and they have their own requirement. Everyone can write the NCLEX exam. Once you pass the NCLEX exam, they will even chase for you. And that's what we want you to do. This thing is doable. This thing is doable because you are doing it yourself. You can move at your own pace. It's doable. I would say even the credential. So we will come to the costing aspect of it. But I'm asked to present on this, so I'll focus on this. So I'm going to highlight why you need a processing firm in pursuing your USRN career or your dream. So I'm Dixon Yeboah, Associate Consultant for UPC. I also double as a case manager for midwife and psychiatric nurses. So what I do is that I help you convert your foreign educated education to match that of the US system. So, but for today, I will share with you why some 10 key pointers why you need UPC in achieving your American dream. Next slide, please. So basically what we do is, of course, we are a consulting firm. So once you sign out to us, we will provide you an expert advice on NCLEX requirements and qualification to use, which state to even select for your NCLEX. So as I indicated earlier on, we have more than 50 states in America. If you want to license as a nurse, you need to register with a particular state board of nursing. So we call it a state board of nursing. America runs a federal state. So if you want to license or practice as a nurse, you need to select a particular state. So for us, we have a particular state that we use for most of our clients. But of course, it's an information section. If you select a state like New York will require you to do some jurisprudence. Texas will require you to do some jurisprudence tests. They'll require you to write some tests on child abuse and other stuff. A board like Colorado will require you to have a social security number and all those. So if you are residing outside the US, it's important that you be much informed about the state that you use for your NCLEX registration. Yeah, so we will guide you on the State Board of Nursing to use. You see, after you had passed your NCLEX, what is important is you being in America. getting the opportunity to be in America. Once you get to the US, you can transfer your license from every state that you want to practice to your desired state. But because you are residing outside the US and we don't want your process to get stuck, it's important that you select a particular state. So we highly recommend Illinois, Virginia, Texas, and other stuff. Yeah. Next slide, please. So we will guide you on that. So signing up to us will also give you what we call an expert assistant. So expert assistant, we basically means that we will help you determine the requirements you need to comply with. So, for example, every state board will require you to do what we call a fingerprint process. So the fingerprint process is referred to as a state requirement. So the US system will require you that before you get license, you need to be a nurse. You don't have any criminal background. You've not committed any murder. You don't have any, professional misconduct and all those stuff. And we have, a protocol with Ghana Police Service, the CID department. We will do all those things on your behalf. You don't have to worry your head. How do I do this? No. Your case manager, Francis or Dixon, will take charge of it. So that's what we mean by an expert assistant. Next slide, please. So signing up to UPC will give you what we call an application process. So we will virtually hold your hand throughout the whole process for you. So because you are a foreign educated nurse, the first thing that you have to do is what we call the credential evaluation process. So the credential evaluation process basically means that you did not have your education in US, so the US want to understand your education background, whether it's comparable to their system. So there's a sanctioned credential evaluation agencies that have been mandated to do that. And every board has its own credential evaluation that they use. So if you are applying to, maybe you did you have a credential evaluation report with WES, or maybe a different credential evaluation agency, you cannot use that report for Illinois because Illinois don't accept their report, or Texas don't accept their report. So we need to be mindful of that. So we take charge of all that application process for you. Of course, it's an advisory. We'll give you the expert advice and all that. Next slide, please. Yeah, so we will also help you with your license application. License application. So with the license application, we basically means that we send in your document to the authorized US institution who review your license application. So as I indicated, the board, every state has its own licensing regime. So we will forward your credential evaluation report, your license verification with NMC report to them to make sure that you are a person, you are a nurse of good standing, you've not committed any crime back home and all that. Then they give you what we call an approval. So after your credential evaluation report is sent, your fingerprint report is sent, the board will give you what we call an approval. So the approval basically means that you now have the green light to what? Register with Pearson VUE to take your NCLEX. You cannot jump this process, my sister. You cannot fast track this. No one should deceive you that, oh, there's a fast way to do this thing. It's only UPC that we have that key. I bet you. You go and you get stuck and you call me. I will not mind you. All right, so, yes. Next slide, please. So the reason why you need a processing firm or a consulting firm like UPC is to avoid mistakes. The US process is not like the UK that all that you have to do is to just write your IELTS and do your license verification. UK process doesn't require you to have a credential report and board and other stuff. UK doesn't run a federal system. So all that you need is you passing your IELTS, they verifying your license with NMC, then you are good to go. No, the US doesn't work like that. More than 50 states. Every state has its own licensing regime. So it's important that you consult the experts so that we guide you, you avoid mistake, because it will cost you a lot. If you select a wrong state for your credential evaluation, you get stuck, and if you want such a report to be sent to a different board, you need to pay for another credential evaluation fees. Look at the time wasted, the cost. Meanwhile, you've been studying and thinking that, oh, you are waiting for your approval will never come because of a mistake that you did. So signing up to us will give you that leverage to minimize that mistake. We have a working relationship with about 5 state board of nursing in US. We have a working relationship with Accurate Biometric. It's a fingerprint agency based in US. You cannot call them, but we can call them and make sure that even if there's a mistake, they will rectify it, and you don't have to reinvent the wheel again. So it's important that you use a processing firm, not even UPC, but maybe if you think there's a different credential or a processing firm that you can use, fine. But it's advisable that you get an expert to guide you through your journey. Next slide, please. Yeah, so far, we've been able to help our client within 6 months to get their ATT. There are even some board that, some people, they had their education in India, their nursing education in India. They don't have even a PIN and all those stuff. If you have such a background, you can approach us. Once you did a nursing education, you have a diploma or a degree in nursing, midwifery or psychiatric nurse, and you have even an issue with your PIN, we can advise you which board to use in order to, fast track your process. So fast tracking your process basically means that we have a coordinated and well-structured system. We have a unit responsible for your fingerprints, a unit responsible for your anklets. If you sign up to us, it's not like you are learning on your own. We will be tracking your anklets, scores and all that. If we think that you are lacking behind, we will advise you that you need more time to study before we even register with your Pearson VUE and get your ATT. So using our brand will help fast track your process. We will do the necessary follow-ups for you if your school is delaying. So there are a lot of players involved when it comes to even you getting your credential evaluation report. After even your report has been sent to the evaluators, they will verify from your school. They will send a mail to your school requesting them to confirm whether the document that they sent was truly from them. We have access to over 30 NMTCs in Ghana. We can reach out to them, call them, ensure that they do the needful for your process to fast track. So that's what we mean. Next slide, please. So, you see, the overriding goal of all this process is you passing your NCLEX exam. Now, assuming, we are all working nurses. We have some students among us, but chunk of us here are working. Assuming that you are a nursing mother, you are married, you are working, you have a lot of competing factors, competing forces. Your kids, financial staff, and assuming you are the same person chasing your credential report, chasing NMC, for your license verification, going to your school, and all that. It's enormous. So all that we are saying is that we will take care of all those paperwork for you. What is within your control is you having the enough time to study for your English. So we are saying that you have more time to focus on your review class and work whilst waiting for your exams approval. So we will handle all those paperwork for you because for the English exam, we cannot study for you, right? Yeah. So you need enough time. At least you need to have at least 6 months content review. And I'm happy to say that the new generational English, a lot of nurses are passing because now it favors the nurse. And the time is now. Assuming people are in Brazil, want to cross to US on a foot, illegal immigrants. And we are saying that you can use your nursing career to migrate with your family, create a conducive atmosphere for your next generation to come. By the virtue of your license, you being a nurse or a midwife, you can migrate to US on a green card route. I think it's an opportunity for you to seize and help not even yourself, but your family, your kids. They will have a better life. Of course, America is part of the world, but at least you are assured of your next meal, you are assured of a better education, you are assured that your kids will have a proper education, they will not graduate and become unemployed. Do you get it? So just have that reflection that, oh, this thing is too costly, no. I don't want you to retire and be running a drugstore. I don't want you to retire and be... No. Come on. So please, do this for your kids. And even, I know there are some husbands here and other staff. Support your wife. Through your wife licenses, you can get a green card. If your husband is not willing to support you, reinforce yourself. You can do this. Is that okay? Am I talking too much? It's just that I'm passionate about it and, yeah. Okay, so one of the difficulties associated with this process is if you try to do it on your own, at a point, you will have issue with even paying some of the services. So most of the services that, we provide, we use credit card. We use credit card system. If you don't have a credit card, you doing it as an individual, at a point, you get stuck. So we can help you do all those payments on your behalf. If you are paying for your credential evaluation fee, you need a credit card to effect such a payment. If you are paying for your fingerprint process, all these are offshore services. So we will handle all those things for you. So as we speak now, forget about the travel and tours. They don't know how this process works. They will tell you all those stuff, but you get stuck, my sister. Travel and tour person will not help you. Travel and tour person is not knowledgeable about your nursing education. We at UPC, currently we are the leading processing agency with that expert advice in terms of navigating your NCLEX and your USRN route. So we highly recommend our brand for you. There's nothing like a free lunch. Like agencies will tell you, we will do everything for you. Broni ochena adekwa. Broni ochena adekwa. Onchena adekwa. You can do this thing on your own. Once you pass your NCLEX exam, you become very competitive. You can approach any hospital. We have relationship with hospitals that will connect you to after you pass your NCLEX exams. Then they will sponsor your green card. If you want to write your NCLEX exams in US or maybe in South Africa or in India, we have a team, a coordinated team that will give you that expert advice. Put this thing together, put this thing together. If you're already here and you have a US visa, we can give you an expert advice on how you can take advantage of it to write your entrance exams and get your green card. We offer all these services for you by the virtue of the fact that, we are based in Ghana and we are all Ghanaians. So we just want to give it back to the society. So at this point, I will end my presentation here. There's a section that Madame Vida will touch on, which basically had to do with our NCLEX Academy and how it's important that you keep a clean criminal records in terms of your fingerprint process. Thank you.
So thank you very much, Dixon, for your part. How many people are tired? How many people are tired? There's a break at noon, so let's put the rest of the things together by noon, and we'll go on break. Okay, so you might be wondering, how do people feel about UPC? Before I join, how do people feel about UPC? Are they just in Ghana? Well, for your information, most of our client base are in Ghana, but we have people in Nigeria, Lesotho, Jamaica, US, UK, Turkey, and they are all here right now to tell you about their story. So just listen.
This is Makananela Irene Batsani. I'm a registered nurse currently working in the UK. I'm from Lesotho, the Mountain Kingdom of Lesotho. I'm under accreditation, whereby my council back home has to do the accreditation. So far, the process is going well, and I can encourage everyone to enroll with them. There is no night, there is no day with the UPC people. They will always be there for you when you need the answers. If you have any question, you call them anytime, of which might be inconveniencing sometimes because of the time difference. Come on, everyone is serious from everywhere. Trust me, you will enjoy it. Bye.
Hi, my name is Monodati, a journalist from Ghana, currently working in theater. I enrolled to UPC, that is USRN Pathway Consult, after watching a video done by Chris Makuma, where she spoke extensively on the pros and cons on coming to the US using an agency and self-funding yourself. I decided to join UPC to self-fund myself to the USA. The journey so far has been a very smooth one. They have a willing and well-dedicated team who are ready to help you at every stage in the process. They have a well-structured system to take you through the process successfully and smoothly. I would like to encourage anyone out there who is yet to enroll to UPC to go out there and then visit their website, that is USRN Pathway Consult, and then hit the enroll button, and I believe you will never regret it. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone, I'm Rhoda Leopoldi, registered nurse officer from Tanzania, located in East Africa. I have 3 years of experience working as a nurse officer in different hospitals and including health NGOs. I also started my journey of becoming registered nurse officer in United States of America on October 2022. UPC has become my pathway and guidance in different ways, as it has guided me to be able to send my university report to the GSA pathway, and also guided me on how I can be able to obtain my Board of Nursing report, and that was be able to send it to the UPC pathway through JNSA pathway, but also through UPC I have attended to credential evaluations. The first one is in Nevada, credential evaluations, and the second one is in New Mexico. And currently I have sent my fingerprints so that I can have an application to testing ready for NCLEX exam, so that I can attain and I can be able to attain my dreams and my goal of becoming a registered nurse in the United States of America. So everyone, my friends, my fellow registered nurses, where you are worldwide, you are welcome to join UPC Pathway that will guide you to transfer your foreign educations from your country to become official nurse in the United States of America. Thank you. You are welcome. You're welcome where you are. Thank you.
My name is Rahel Bani Nipashi. I'm a registered general nurse from Ghana, Accra. I thought of this USRN journey about a year ago, but I didn't have any information as to how to go about it. I watched a couple of YouTube videos, but the information I was getting very straightforward, it was so confusing, all over the place and all that. So I chanced on Priscilla RN on YouTube. She was talking about UPC and how to go about this US nursing journey. So I subscribed and then watched a few of the videos, and I realized there were much information, and then the guidelines were straightforward and very understandable. So I enrolled with UPC, and the experience has been good so far. The CGFNS processes, getting my documents to CGFNS, everything has been smooth. And also the NCLEX class. Actually, with the NCLEX class, I had lots of materials on NCLEX, but I didn't know how to go about it. I had the books, I had the PDFs, a whole lot. I didn't know how to study, how to strategize my time to study, what information I need to have, what topics I need to read and all that. The NCLEX class really helped me to plan my time, strategies, getting my content right, answering questions. It's been very, 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 very helpful. So I would like to encourage any nurse actually who has plans of migrating to the US and doesn't know how to go about it. I recommend UPC to you. Give them everything to do for you. In fact, relax and let them do everything for you.
And then everything began. Luckily enough, they gave me time and space to gather my resources and then go through the whole process one step at a time. So I began. They took me through my credential evaluation services. They facilitated my NMC credentialing, they facilitated my university credentialing, and every other thing. Once my CES report was ready, they took me through my board registration, and the process has been amazing so far. I have never regretted. So you out there, if you are ready and you've decided that you want to pursue your dreams outside the country, I can
you think you are that type of person who was at the USRN journey and you're finding it very difficult, you need a smooth way to go to the US, I think you should choose UPC.
So whilst they were talking, did you hear them repeat one word? Credential evaluation. Credential evaluation. What is credential? What is credential evaluation? The reason is we want to get this done as soon as possible so that we break for a second session because there are so many people outside. So please bear with us if we are pumping you with information in a short possible time. So credential evaluation is an important aspect of your USRN journey. There is no way, just as Dixon said, that you can transition as a nurse to the US without using a credential evaluation service. It is practically impossible as long as you schooled outside the US. So a credential evaluation compares your academic and professional degrees that you earned in a country outside the US with the universities in the US to see if they compare. And thankfully, the Ghanaian educational system is so high that our diploma in nursing compares with a diploma in US. And our degree in nursing compares with a degree in US. So you do not have any problem at all as to whether, well, if I go through the credential evaluation, will the report come out good? It will come out good because you schooled in Ghana. Once you schooled in Ghana, rest assured that your diploma or your degree compares with the ones in the US, unless, of course, there's a problem from your school. That one would have been a mistake on their part, but it doesn't mean your education is non-comparable. So if you have studied outside the US and are trying to get licensed, a foreign credential evaluation report may help you meet the educational requirement. Now, why do you think they want to know your level of education? It's basically what your NMC does here. How many of you wrote the NMC exam without going through a diploma program or a degree program? You didn't just wake up from SHS to licensure. So they want to know whether the NCLEX you are about to write, your educational background fits someone who is legible to write the NCLEX. And so they have contracted some companies to review your education and your license to see if it compares. Once it checks out that your educational background compares with someone who has schooled in the US, say had a BSN or a diploma, then it means you qualify to write the NCLEX. So you are given the authority to write. And that is what you've been hearing as ATT, authority to test. So you begin your USRN journey with credential evaluation, comparing your educational background with the US system. Now, the 52 states in America do not have the time to go through each and everyone's background. So they have subletted these services to some companies in the US to do this on their behalf. Maybe you might have heard of some of them. Maybe you don't know others. But then we'll mention at least the most popular ones to you. How many of you have heard of ERES? ERES. How about CGFNS? CGFNS. Okay. How about JSNA? All right. So these are the three most popular credential evaluation services that you give your transcript to. For them to review your transcript, write a report about your transcript to tell the Board of Nursing that you are trying to obtain your license from that. My sister here, who has a PhD in nursing, is actually compared to someone who has a PhD in nursing in America. So allow her to write the NCLEX. So I'm just going to list the names of the companies one more time for you to know. We have Commission on Graduates of Foreign Nursing Schools, CGFNS. And this company works with all the Board of Nursing in America. So if you want your credential evaluation from CGFNS, know that all the boards of nursing in US work with them. So there is no way you may want to think of a particular state to claim your report, your license, and CGFNS will not be able to help you. Then we have JSNA, Joseph Sinley and Associates. They do a course-by-course evaluation of your transcript and your license and write a report on it. And they work with just about 26 states in the US, and they keep adding on. The recent one is Illinois State. And then we have the Educational Record Evaluation Service, ERES. They work with about 24 states in the US, and for those states, if you want to claim your license from, you can subscribe to them. These services are not free. Currently, Joseph Sinley and Associates, if you want to claim your credential evaluation report from them, it goes for $400. It is higher with CGFNS, and it is much, much higher with ERES. So for the purpose of clarification, our consult will choose the best possible evaluation service for you, one that will help your transition to be so smooth, so straightforward, less stressful. So you might think, why are you not using CGFNS for me? You are using ERES. It's because we understand the process. Just trust us. We'll do a good job for you. So these are some of the documents you may need whilst doing your credential evaluation, and I would like you to take note of them. You may need to verify your transcript from your school. And then you may need to verify your license from the nursing board in Ghana. And the nursing board in Ghana will charge you something to do that for you. And then your school, depending on how much they want to charge, will also charge you something for that. When these two documents reaches CGFNS, as an example, then they will base on it to write a report about you. Once your report is good and gets to the Board of Nursing, they review it and then give you the authorization to write the NCLEX, and you'll be on your way to South Africa, UK, Turkey, India to write your exam. So that's the little bit about credential evaluation. If you have been hearing it, that is it about credential evaluation. So once your credential evaluation is done, then we move on to what we call Board of Nursing registration, and it is in 3 sections. And I would like our coordinator, Vida, to explain that one briefly to you so that we do some question and answers and then we break.
Okay. Peace. Are we confused or we are on track? Very good. Very, very good. So, as Francis said, after credential evaluation, then comes Board of Nursing registration. The Board of Nursing registration comes in 2 parts. We have the actual Board of Nursing registration that is done online, and then we have the fingerprints and FBI background check. So Basically, with the board, you can't just choose any board at all just because you have a family there, or just because you've heard that this place, the sun shines there, it's not snowy, so I like this place, I don't like this place. No. All of the boards have their own processes and requirements. As Dixon mentioned earlier, some of them will ask you, write your US Social Security number, else you'll not be able to register with us. So we as USRN Pathway Consults have been able to look out all the boards, and we have chosen certain boards that foreign educated nurses, not only in Ghana, but all over the world, can use as an entry point so they can be able to write their NCLEX. So we have used a few boards. Dixon mentioned Illinois. We've used Nevada, we've used New Mexico, we've used New York, we have used Texas. Yes, we have used Texas also. But there are other boards that you can also use. Some of our clients come and they prefer to use certain boards. We will not stop you from choosing the board you want to use, but we first need to look into the requirements that the board is asking for. If the board is asking for social security number, obviously you can't choose that board. If the board is asking you to write IELTS, then you should be ready to write IELTS to meet the requirements for that board. But if you don't want to go through any of this wahala, USRN Pathway Consult will choose the right board for you to use so that you escape the IELTS and also the social security number requirements. So this is it for the Board of Nursing registration, and they all come at a cost. Every board has its price. So based on the one you choose, you will know which price the board is asking for. Aside the Board of Nursing registration, they also prefer or require that you do your FBI or fingerprinting. Basically, this simply means that before you actually write your NCLEX, they need to take your prints. They need to know your fingerprints. So USRN Pathway Consult has liaised with some police officials with the Ghana Police Service that are in charge of fingerprinting issues. And we help our clients with this process. So you ask, I'm with an agency, they've asked me to do fingerprints. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go to. When you come to UPC, we'll help you with that. And we also have a record, 100% acceptance ever since we started. And we have done it for over 50 people, and none of their fingerprints have been rejected. So you ask me, what is this acceptance and rejection of fingerprints that you are talking about? This is what it simply means. Your prints have to be done well. Your forms have to be filled well. You need to know the right information to provide on the forms. You need to know how to handle the forms after you do the print. And you need to know how to post it to the Board of Nursing. If you make any mistake in any of these, you will pay the fingerprinting fee. They will accept it, and they will return your forms to you and tell you that you have made a mistake. You didn't write the date well. Your prints didn't appear well. You didn't write your date of birth well, and they'll reject your form. Rejection means that you have to go through the process all over again. The boards are very petty when it comes to this process. So you need someone to guide you through it and make sure that you don't waste money when it gets to this part. It's the same for the online registration too. You can fill the online registration yourself, but if you don't know the right information to put into the system when you are filling or when you are providing your information, you will finish and enter your card details and then click on pay. They will accept the money. Then they'll write back to you that you didn't provide A, B, C, D. So because of that, your registration has been rejected. Yes, they are very petty when it comes to this. And they need this information because after the Board of Nursing and the fingerprinting, you'll be given an approval, as Dixon said. The board will be the ones to give you an approval to register on Pearson View to take your NCLEX. So if you don't go through this process well, you will not be able to get that approval to write your NCLEX, and you will have to do everything all over and pay everything all over. So for UPC, we've done it for over 50 people, and none of them have come with any rejected fingerprint form. None of them have come with any rejection from the board that you didn't fill the information well. We have done that, and some of these clients of ours already have their ATT, they already have their dates, and as we speak now, we have a client currently undergoing this process in India. She's going to write her exam. So we have a success rate, so we just want you to trust us with this process, okay? So after you go through the Board of Nursing and the fingerprinting, we have the Pearson VUE registration. Pearson VUE registration is just simply the registration for your NCLEX. And with that, it's a flat fee. When you go on the website, it's a flat fee of $200, and you pay this using your debit card. So after you pay this Pearson VUE, you will be given your ATT, authorization to test. That authorization to test is what you will need to schedule your NCLEX date and your location and also your time. So there are different venues that you can choose to write your NCLEX. Some have chosen to go and write it in the US. Some have chosen to go to South Africa. Some have chosen to go to India. Some of our clients who are in Turkey would write their NCLEX in Turkey. So the location actually depends on you and where you want to go to. So when it gets there, there are also issues. Issues in the sense that you might plan everything. You get to the airport, flight has been cancelled, but your date has already been set. What do? You just have to pick a phone, call us, tell us you want to change your date immediately, and we can do that for you. I've done that for most of our clients, and they've been able to get their dates even though they have issues such as flight cancellation. So basically, this is the processes that you have to go through after your credential evaluation. So even though it sounds cumbersome, we make it very easy for you. It is not difficult to go through this process. All you need to do is just follow our instruction, and you will not have any issues with rejection, especially when it comes to the fingerprinting. So I think I have covered everything for now. Don't let it scare you. It is simple. I've said a lot of things, but it is simple. When you get there, we will help you. Okay. So at this point, okay. I've explained a lot of things. I will invite about 3 questions based on this process, Board of Nursing and fingerprinting, because I can see a lot of confused faces, and there's a lot of memorying. So if I can we will get to the Q&A, but because of the confusion and the memorying, I want to answer 1, 2, or 3 questions. Yes. Okay. So she says she would like to know the cost involved for the board. So as I said, if you go to Illinois Board of Nursing website today, you want to find out how much it costs. It's written there, $107. We will not charge you extra for this. You will pay exactly what you see. For Nevada, it's $100. You will pay exactly what you see. For Kentucky, we've used Kentucky also, it's $125. You pay exactly what you see. So all these boards have their fingerprinting services that they use. For Illinois, they use mostly, we use Accurate Biometrics because we have a corporate relationship with them. Having a corporate relationship with them means that we have direct access to them to ensure that the fingerprints are always okay and are not rejected. That's for Illinois. But for Nevada, they have their own fingerprinting division that they use. And they cost, for Nevada, it's $40. For Illinois, $67. And then for Texas, it's $53.25. Oh, CGFNS.
The whole process. Just the whole process.
We have a Q&A, so don't worry. We'll tell you. We'll calculate everything and tell you how much everything will cost. So at this point, if you need, is there any other question about Board of Nursing and fingerprinting? Okay, so we have our directors here. The directors, can I have some silence, please? So these are directors. They double as associate consultants and they triple as case managers. Mr. Francis Obriadams handles RGNs. So I know for RGNs, the credential evaluation that most RGNs use is the CGFNS. So he is a CGFNS Pro. He handles everything RGN. Okay. And then Mr. Dixon Osayewa handles midwives and psych nurses. So he's also going to explain the credential processes and everything for midwives and psych nurses. So for now, I think the floor is open for Q&A. Kindly raise your hand. Asha will give you the mic, then you can ask your question.
As long as you can study and pass the exams, that is fine. So it has nothing to do with what class you even came out with and your grade points.
Okay, so my second question.
So even if you got, do you know Gikodidi? Do you know Gikodidi? Yeah. So even if you got Gikodidi, it has nothing to. In fact, the content of your report doesn't even specify the class that you got. So.
Okay.
All right.
So please, you said you do in-person tuition for the NCLEX. So are there specific locations or something that we will have to go to when we want to do this in person?
All right, so currently the in-person project is a pilot one, but then the main thing we do is a virtual class, and it's via video conferencing. So you get to get a back and forth with the instructor. So it's practically like you are in the same class with him, just that you are in your house.
Thank you.
I think there's a question from behind. If you still have your question, please ask, else we'll pass it on.
Good morning, and thank you very much for the information given so far. Please, I wanted to ask those of us who are students, then we are left with like a year to finish school. Is there a way we can start the process and even start the NCLEX preparation before we finish with our school? Thank you.
Please, can we have some silence here?
But boys are wild though. Okay, so let me. Can we have some silence? I mean, it's a very good question. So, ordinarily, we will recommend that you finish your national service. Just pass through the system. Write your licensure exams. Get your, your NMC certificate of registration and all that. However, if you want to speed up, there are some certain boards that do not require you to have licenses with NMC before you get the approval. So, there's a possibility of it, but we highly recommend that at least you finish your national service. But if you want to do it, we have a board. All that they need is your transcript from school. Then you are good to go. Is that okay? but it has its own ramifications because, you need to at least, the national service should give you a leverage to experience the bedside thing. The emphasis is on bedside. You need to be a bedside nurse, have a contact with patients at the ward, have, that experience. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, please, my question is, some of us, maybe when you were in JHS, you didn't finish JHS 3 and then you wrote the exams in JHS 2, like in a different school. So that one, when you are inputting your information, how are you going to put it? And then also, please,
are you an off-deck candidate?
No. Like normal JHS, but you wrote it in JHS 2 in a different school. So
right.
Yes,
I get it.
Okay.
Please, the last one.
Can we answer that question for her? It's a very good question. Can we answer that question for her?
All right. Have some decorum, please.
All right. So
please, the last one, I want to know
question.
the price for the JSNA evaluation. Yes, please.
Okay, so let me start with the second question, and I'll come to the SHS, GHS thing. The JSNA evaluation service fee is $400. And let me add CGFNS to it. CGFNS currently, and mind you, these prices are subject to change. CGFNS currently charges $450, and ERAS charges $480. So you can keep it at the back of your mind. Now, with how you came out from GHS to SHS, pretty much do not really matter with this process, okay? So rest assured, your BEC certificate is not even going to be requested. And even if they request your SHS certificate, it's not going to be included in the report. But we'll need it.
We just want to understand that you've had a general education, so...
Okay. Let's take a question.
Hello. Please, so after the NCLEX 101 classes with you, and you're about to write your exams, are you going to fund for the exams for us, or the traveling for us, or sponsor us? And then second, you spoke lengthy. I think majority of us here are public health nurses or community health nurses. You've not mentioned of us in any way. Are we all Alcians? Are you going to do the same job in the bedside or something? Do you have a job over there too? Thank you very much.
Okay, so I want to understand. I'm not a nurse by profession, but if we say a bedside nurse, who is a bedside nurse? I mean, nurses who work at the ward, those who have direct contacts with the patients. Mm-hmm. So if you're a midwife or psych nurse, you have contact with. But with public health nurse, you work at more like the community level, right? Yeah, so that's where the challenge is. But we've had cases where some board have given approval to public health nurse to write the NCLEX exams. But once you pass your NCLEX exam, you are going to work at the ward. And because you don't have such a clinical experience, that's where the challenge is. But we can if you want us to try something for you, maybe with your credential report and other stuff, but we can assure you that because of your background. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, the trip to write your NCLEX, ours is purely self-sponsorship. So self-sponsorship basically means that you are pre-financing your own process till you pass your NCLEX exams. Is that okay? It's something doable. Yeah.
Hello.
Okay, let's have some silence, please. Okay.
Hello. Please, this is just to clarify something. Please, did you say that with the states you work with, wouldn't need to take the IELTS up to the level of taking the NCLEX exams?
Yes, that's correct.
So I think
for most of the states.
I'll answer that. So the states we choose for our clients do not require that you write your IELTS. But when you are doing your visa screen, your immigration process, it is needed or it is required. But for the board of nursing, we have chosen some boards that don't require IELTS. Yes.
It's more difficult and more, challenging than the IELTS. And you can't combine the two at the same time. The IELTS expires within certain period. So if you hurriedly write your IELTS, you pass within 1 year, 2 years, and expires, and you need to rewrite it again. Look at that kind of cost and other stuff. So we recommend that, all these are kind of misinformation. The agencies are, with the IELTS, it's only applicable after you had passed your NCLEX exams. So we call something a visa screen process. It's an immigration process. When you're going for your U.S. embassy interview, for your visa to enter into U.S., we need to prepare a document called visa screen. It's at that level that we will need that. If you are even already in U.S. and you pass your NCLEX exam, you don't even need a visa screen. You don't even need IELTS. Is that okay? Yeah.
Okay, so my question is, let's say I have passed the IELTS process and I had like a month left to relocate to the UK. Is there any way I can still push up with the NCLEX process with your consult when I'm in the UK?
Yes.
Okay, and then the second question is, under the terms and conditions of your site, you have allocated amount that is supposed to be paid, and division $200 from that amount won't be refundable. If what? Can you hit on it a bit? And the money is for the consult registration. Is it for the consult registration, or the 400 is for something different?
Okay, maybe I'll take that. So the $400, maybe if you were here whilst presenting on the website, I jokingly said the $400 is for Mr. Dixon to put in his pocket. Actually, the $400 is what you pay to us for the services we are rendering. Beyond this $400, no other expense comes to us directly. Any other thing you pay goes to whoever is charging for that service. So for instance, if you need to do your NMC PIN verification, currently you might pay somewhere around $750 to NMC. Even if you give that money to us, we are actually paying that money, everything to the last person, to NMC on your behalf. Any other money you pay to us beyond the $400 is for your process.
Okay, and my last question is, before you take the major test, which is the NCLEX, I learned there is a pre-exams, some tests you take online before you take the main exam. And is there any way you are going to assist in case I can't take the exams? Is there any way you can help me to get a higher scores? And can we get an... Hello.
Oh, please, let him go. Let him go with the question.
Gano Papo.
We have five more minutes to go.
Okay,
so.
and then the major question of it all is, can I get an estimated price? Let's say if I want to go through the process, I need to get like $3,000, $2,000, or $4,000 to push up through that.
All right. So let me answer the other question concerning how to help you get a higher score. really everything depends on you. So I believe what you're asking about is the jurisprudence exam. Not all boards of nursing requires the jurisprudence exam. So depending on which board of nursing you are getting your license from, you practically may write, the only exam you might write is the NCLEX, which is solely dependent on you. The jurisprudence exams is an open book text, honestly. So you can pass with all the materials. We deal on these things by case process. So just contact us, okay? And to give you an estimate of the entire process, I cannot stand here and quote a figure. Reason is the institutions keep changing their prices each day without notice. So an example is before November, CGFNS was charging something less than $400. Then it changed to $400. Then it changed to $420. Then it changed to $450 within a space of 3 months. So I cannot give you a figure. But then it is broken down so much so that you do it one step at a time. Next question, please.
So just to chip in a bit. So, I mean, from the time you enrolled with us to the time you get your, let me say, your approval or your ATT, you spend not less than 10,000 Ghana cedis. But of course, this money, you don't need to have the whole lump sum to start, as we indicated, step by step. Now, so the 10,000 will take you to you getting what we call your ATT. That's the authorization to test. Not less than. Then, after you've had your ATT, you plan your trip to the NCLEX Center. So that one, of course, it depends on the foreign exchange and other stuff. You can make your own provision, and your plane tickets, your flights back and forth. You can budget around 20,000 or 25,000. So, I mean, with 40,000, it's doable. So the point I want to make is that it's something doable. It's within your means. Yeah.
Please, we'll take 3 more questions. 3 more questions.
Okay, please. My question is...
Please ask your question.
Please, my question is that in the video, Priscilla mentioned that they don't deal with health nurse assistants. So let's say a nurse assistant who has a working experience and has done a top-up for a degree or a diploma, can we substitute the working experience with the national service so that can qualify the person to the place?
All right, so CGFNS or Texas Board of Nursing or ERES do not know anything about national service. All they know is that you attended school, you graduated, and you have a diploma or a degree. And then you have a valid license. That's all they know. Your work experience has nothing to do with this process until you have passed your NCLEX and you're looking for a job.
Okay, please. My second question too is that is there a way whereby you can help the person do a part payment, and when the person secure a job at the facility, you can deduct the person through that way?
Yeah, so it's just a disclaimer. So we just want to issue a disclaimer. So we at UPC, we are not a recruitment agency. We work with hospitals in US, then they will sponsor your immigration process. So it's basically a sales sponsorship program. And to add a few words to what my colleague rightly indicated. So if you started your nursing career as a HAC is Health Assistant Clinicals, right? you work for 2 years, 3 years, you had a study leave to do your diploma or your degree. Your current qualification is you are a degree holder or a diploma holder. That's what we are going to use for your credential. In fact, the point I want to make is that you don't need to have a working experience before you do your credential evaluation report. It has nothing to do with your working experience. The working experience comes in after you had passed your NCLEX exams and you are negotiating your wages with the employer. Then that you can espouse to them that you've worked for this considerable number of years at the bedside, you have these credentials and all that. Is that clear? So Priscilla was very straightforward that if your current qualification is HAC, you can't write the NCLEX exam because HAC is a certificate. You need a diploma or a degree before you can qualify to write the NCLEX. Is that clear? Yeah, thank you.
So this also goes for our friends here who have gone through the national service, obtained their license, but are currently not working. You can also do your credential evaluation and write the NCLEX. It doesn't stop you from doing any of these. But in between time, before you get a job, before you apply for a job in the US, you get some work experience. But your credential evaluation and NCLEX writing has nothing to do with whether you are employed today or not.
You don't have to also sit before Ministry of Health enrolled you. You can engage a voluntary services to private facilities. They are all part of the working experience. Is that okay?
So we'll take 2 more questions and then we'll break.
So
two
please-
more questions. 2 more questions from 2 different people.
So my question is, when you were telling us about how to do the sign up, there was a part in the registration process where you had to put in your work profile. So what if the person is currently not working, like maybe done with national service, but the person is not currently working? What information would the person fill in that place?
If you have done clinicals somewhere, just put the facility name there.
Or your national service.
Yes.
It's work.
It's work. Okay. Bring the mic here. Please bring the mic here. And then we'll take 1 more question, and that will be it.
The husbands here, meaning say, ebi frame is some ask questions. Papa Fona mo mumbusa questions.
Please go ahead.
Okay, so please, from the inquiry I had, the UPC inquiry, it states $350 if you are writing the NCLEX and essay. Does it include accommodation, visa fee, and all that?
Okay. So hold on. The NCLEX fee, please let's all listen for education purpose. The NCLEX fee is $200. The NCLEX registration fee, or as we will call the licensure fee, is $200. Now, beyond that, depending on where you want to write the NCLEX, the center will charge you an amount. For instance, if you want to write in South Africa, the South Africa Center will charge $150. That makes $350. If you want to write in India, it could be $177. And then...
So in India, it's $177.
Yes.
And then in UK, it's $180. So the booking fee is dependent on the location. So if you want to write it in South Africa, you will pay the $200 for the Pearson view. It is only after you pay this $200 that you'll be given your ATT. If you don't pay this money and register, you will not be given ATT to proceed. After you get your ATT, then you can choose where you want to write the NCLEX. So you need this ATT number before you can be able to book and write your NCLEX and choose the location. So if you choose to write it in South Africa, there's only one center in South Africa, and it is $150 for the booking fee. Booking fee is basically getting to know the time you want to, the time for the NCLEX, the location, and then the date that you want to write your NCLEX. If you want to write it in India, India has more than 5 locations that you can, or 5 centers, and it's $177. And then with UK, I think it's just about 1 or 2, and that one is $180 for the booking fee. So the booking fee is dependent on your location, but the NCLEX registration fee itself, or the Pearson view, is $200.
And this has nothing to do with your plane tickets or hotel. You choose the airline and the type of hotel you want to sleep in.
If you want to sleep in a 5-star, we have no control. Yeah. And the caveat is that once you are taking your NCLEX outside the US jurisdiction, you always pay extra money. So the 200 is the fixed amount. If you are writing it outside US, you pay extra. So, for example, the essay is 150, India, and other stuff. But if you are writing it within US jurisdictions, then that you pay 200. Please, is that clear?
One more question. Whoever has the mic, ask your question, and that will be. Who has the mic right now?
Go ahead with your question.
Okay, someone has the mic. Please go ahead with your question.
Okay. Sure. Please, with your explanation so far, I haven't heard anything about Ministry of Health clearance. So I wanted to ask about that.
Okay. So the clearance is very important, and we encourage all of you to start the process. Join UPC, and we'll make your journey smooth for you. That's the bit we can talk about the clearance. Okay? Before we go into the news. So we will pause here because there's a second session at 1 p.m. If you have any more questions, please go to our website. Put in your correct email, because sometimes people put in wrong email address, put in a question, we respond to the question, and then the email bounce. So please put in your question on the email, on the website, and then we'll see and respond to you. Okay? We are so many here, about 350, and the questions are so much. We thank all of you for coming, and Vida will conclude for us.
Before that, we have a photo gallery section. We want to have a memory of your visit, your participation. So whilst taking your refreshment, there's a photo gallery that you can take and other stuff. Is that okay?
Some board of nursing, some boards will actually accept OET. As I said, every board has its own rules and regulations. So they will state to you which of the English exams they accept. Some accept OET, some accept IELTS, some accept all of them. So it actually depends on what the board will tell you. I hope you get it. But for a board like Illinois, they will not ask you for any of these things. Illinois, it's a bit okay when it comes to foreign educated nurses. A board like Texas, they will not ask you for these things. A board like Nevada will not ask you for this. A board like New Mexico, they are the fastest that I have seen so far. And they will not ask you for IELTS or OET. So it depends on the board that you use. But when it gets to the visa screen, you will need to write either the IELTS or OET, depending on which one the board will ask you to provide. Okay, so I think our case managers are ready now. So now the floor is open for general Q&A about anything UPC or the US process. So,
please, I want to ask, if you start the process from the time you start your registration all the way down to all the way down to you writing your NCLEX, how long will it take? How long is the whole process for you?
So I'll say give yourself between 9 to 24 months. Give yourself between 9 to 24 months. And this includes the immigration, everything, till you enter into the United States.
Okay, so my question is, assuming you are going to the States, you're going to stay there, whether you're going to write NCLEX or not, you are just going to stay in the States, but you decide to take your NCLEX. How is the credential evaluation going to be done for you? Because you schooled in Ghana.
Okay, so what she's asking is just like someone who schooled in Ghana and currently living in the US with a permanent visa, work visa, green card. You still schooled in Ghana. So you make sure that your license is verified in Ghana, from Ghana, and then your school, which still exists, sends your transcript to the Credential Evaluation Service. You don't need to physically be here to do this. Priscilla was never here. In fact, ever since she left, she's not even been back. But it was done for her.
And even chunk of our client base, they're already in UK. You know, there are lots of Ghanaian nurses in UK, and we are helping them move to US. So with the credential process, we don't need your physical presence. Your records are at the school. Your license is with NMC. Yeah, so it's doable.
Please, I want to know if they have a particular IELTS that they accept or any type is accepted.
Yeah, academic. Yeah, academic, and the total score should be 7.0 for your visa screen process.
With the IELTS, there are different types.
No, but it's something that is doable. It's within your... So the estimated cost involved, you see, the whole process is you move at your own pace and it's self-sponsorship, okay? You are doing your own process by yourself. So but based on few projections that we've done, at least before you get to your ATT, at least you will not spend not less than 10,000 Ghana cedis before you get to like your authorization to test stage. Patriotic, I say. Authorization to test stage. Now, only throw and clicks, no. So that feed into your credential evaluation report. Is 10,000 a big deal? Come on, we have senior officers here. Senior nursing officers, come on. Yeah, so the good news about this process is that you don't need to have the lump sum to start. Okay? So what is the most important thing that you need to start with is your amount for your credential evaluation report, which is 400, 450. If you are an RN or general nurse, $450. If you are an RM or psych, you spend maybe 470, 480. That one we will pay directly to the credential evaluation agency in US. That money doesn't come to us. Of course, with our service charge fee, you have some 90 days to pay after your initial $200, dollar payment. Then you move to your getting your document from your nursing school. Depending on the nursing school you attended, the price varies, but at that level, you spend not less than 1,000 Ghana cedi, which include the courier, because they need to send your transcript to the evaluators directly. There's a protocol regarding that. If you attended, let's say, 2 institutions or 3 institutions, depending on what you want us to do for you. For example, you started as a diploma holder, you went to University of Ghana to do a degree. If you want us to use the two institutions, it means that your cost will also what? Increase. Is that okay? So it has its own dynamics. But if you have a diploma in general nursing, you are good to go. That one alone. So the trick about the credential evaluation process is that you don't need to use your highest qualification to do it. For example, you have a master's in nursing education. If the course that you did at the master's program, it had nothing to do with medical, surgical nursing, you don't have to include it on your credential process. Do you get a point? Yeah, so that's how it works. So you can actually, it's something doable. Yeah. Yeah. Next question.
Please, I'm here. My question has to do with the explanation you gave earlier on public health nurses. When you in your explanation, you said a general nurse or a bedside nurse is someone who has a direct contact with a patient, and then on the ward, and then you need to be enrolled on medical, surgical, psychiatric.
You should have completed a course.
A course. So in public health, it's in three folds. We have the degree, diploma, and then the certificate. So diploma and degree are being enrolled in these courses, medical, surgical, psychiatric, and the other things. Whatever the general nurses do, they also do the same. So I want to know, with this, can they also be enrolled? Like, can they partake in this?
But are you a bedside?
No.
So it might be true that as a public health nurse in Ghana, you might have done something in obstetrics, medicine, surgical, geriatric nursing, and all that. But then, how much of that did you do? It also counts. We call something contact theoretical hours and clinical hours. These are the two things used for your credential evaluation. So you might have done just a 2-credit hour, 1 semester in obstetrics, and then focus the rest on community health. Yes, you might have done obstetrics nursing, but how much of it did you do? I hope you get it. So it is not, you cannot be a nurse in Ghana without doing something in medicine. But then how much of it, how much contact hours did you get? So we'll look into it, and if the contact hours matches what will give you a good credential evaluation report, maybe on a case-by-case level, we can do something.
Yeah, we know that NMC is restructuring the nursing education in Ghana. Of course, previously you were not doing geriatric nursing, and now they've incorporated it into the curriculum. So, you can contract us to do your credential report. I know there are some few people that have gone through the process, but because your license with NMC, but we can navigate it for you. Yeah. Next question,
okay,
please.
Thank you. Please, firstly, I want to find out the duration between studying for and then writing the NCLEX. Secondly, I think the name of the consult tells it all. It's US based. But then I want to find out, I'm a midwife, so if I want to go practice in the UK as a midwife and not as a nurse, are you going to be able to help me do that? And with that one, I learned I don't need the NCLEX because we've been talking more about the NCLEX and all that. So if you can kindly brief me on that process too.
All right, so we are here only to talk about USA, okay? But then after the program, we'll mention something UK, but not here. This is a life-changing exam, and you don't want to to do anything to mess it up. But then you don't also need to allow fear to keep postponing until you don't want to do it anymore. Once you discipline yourself between 4 to 6 months, most people are able to do it. This is just for most people, but then everyone is different.
Then when it comes to also with the NCLEX, it's in two folds. So you need to know the content, and also you need to master the strategy in solving the questions. NCLEX is purely application of the knowledge. So it's not like you are going to do chill and pour and no. You need to master the content, how you can solve patients' problem at the ward. So you need to master the content, and also you need to master the strategy in solving the question. It's not just the content. You can master the content, but if you don't know the strategy in solving that question, and you need to know the two. So it needs, dedication, self-discipline to pass your NCLEX. But with the new generational questions, a lot of nurses are passing, and the time is now. Regardless of your age, whether you are 50 years or 45 years or you are 18, or you can do it. Is that okay? Yes. Yeah.
Please.
We'll take 2 more then.
Okay. Yes. Some recruiters will say that you should be working in a hospital that has a bed capacity of 100 or whatever. So we want to know with yours, what is it about?
So once more, let us really explain to you once again who we are. We are not a recruitment agency. And what the other recruitment agencies are saying with regards to bed capacity is just to streamline the process, get people who will integrate into the US as easy as possible, and people who are exposed enough to just pass the NCLEX to make their things so smoothly. For instance, if someone works at UGMC, the person is exposed to modern facility. So it will be easier for that person to get into the US and not shake. But then, just look at the number here. And everybody is applying. So they use some of this bed capacity thing to just negate some of you and just pick a few because they can only pay so much. So it doesn't mean you do not qualify. What qualifies you is the fact that you are a nurse, you schooled in Ghana, you have diploma, and you have passed your NCLEX. This is what qualifies you. Your bed capacity has nothing to do with your skills. Because tell you what, some people lived in the best of hospitals with the biggest capacities, but you are better off as a nurse probably than them. So do not let the bed capacity of your facility prevent you from embarking on this journey. All you need to know is, and all you need to qualify with is be a nurse, a registered one in Ghana with a valid license, and be ready to pass the NCLEX. You are good to go.
Okay, please, I'd like to know, for your transcript, do you need a specific GPA to...
Okay, so, I think it's a very good question. So, with the credential evaluation, it de-emphasizes on your class or maybe your grade points, and there's no the credential evaluation report that you get doesn't talk about the GPA that you had. So what matters is that were you able to complete your course? Do you have the certificate? Once you have these two variables, you are good to go. So it doesn't matter the class that you had. Unya jikodi dikra now or certificate. That's what matters. Is that okay? All right.
It says what?
Yeah, so I mean, we don't do a carer. So, and I mean, Priscilla has a YouTube channel. She saw the adverts on, a different company and thought it wise that she would share it on her channel. But I mean, the processes that you go through to get that carer is the same as you doing your NCLEX. I mean, they will require your credential report. Some will require you to even have ATTA before. And I mean, it's the same process. And I don't see why you being a nurse, they will ask you to do your credential report and other. Because once you do your credential report and you get your ATT, you are near to writing your NCLEX. So you just pass it and transition. But we don't do carer. Yeah. With the US, the carer thing doesn't really work. Yeah.
Please, in your presentation, I learned we have three places to write the NCLEX. That is
more than
like I chose to write at a US, but in one way or the other, I try. Can I stay there or like? I choose not.
Okay, thank you. Okay, sir. Please, I want to find out, like, if you have somebody there who wants to take you to US, but the person is so busy to get you the nursing job. Do your agency also help to get the job there, and maybe, or will you help the person to write the NCLEX there, then find a job for the person? So, like, you do the certificate verification, everything here in Ghana. Once I've schooled in Ghana and I have everything in Ghana, will you process everything for me as I'm there? Then when the time comes, then I'll write my NCLEX there.
Perfect. So, wherever you live, borders do not matter. We can take 2 more questions. It's 3 p.m. and we close.
They are taught by people who have already passed this exam. So they don't just teach you. They teach you the techniques of passing the NCLEX exam. Aside the teaching, you get materials. You get coaching from them. They teach something you don't understand. They will help you. All of them are people who have gone through this process and they have passed. They are just waiting for their immigration things to get through, and then they leave. So for the tutors that will be handling you, please be rest assured. There are people that have been able to devise a technique to pass the NCLEX. They have helped hundreds of people pass the NCLEX here in Ghana, so they can help you.
One last question.
Please, we don't only have face-to-face classes. We have classes that are done on Zoom. So the NCLEX class, we have 3 types. We have the in-person, we have the virtual, and even with the virtual, there's one that is live, and there's one that you get the recordings after the class in case maybe your schedule is not favorable for maybe a day or 2 within the week. We have one that you will enroll and then you get the recorded version. And even after watching the recorded version, you have questions. The tutors are always available. They would assist you. They also give you tests, interim tests throughout the NCLEX course, and they give you materials. So you have to let us know which category you fall in and your working condition. Then we know which class to actually put you in. And the NCLEX class is $50 a month. So with the virtual class, it gives the opportunity for those who don't live in Ghana to also enjoy the NCLEX class and learn. You get it. And $50, you are saying is much. It is the Zoom that you'll be using to do the NCLEX class. You don't pay for the Zoom. UPC pays for it. So it's part of all the operational courses. We need to pay the tutors too. That is why it's like that. I hope you understand. But as I said, you don't give us $50 cash. If you have, fine. If you don't have, you can give us the CD equivalent and then we enroll you. So the next question is, how long does the NCLEX expire? So let me explain it from the ATT point. After you finish your board of nursing and you register for the NCLEX, you are given your ATT. The ATT is for 6 months. If you know you are not ready to travel to go and write the NCLEX, don't even pay for the Pearson View. Because once you pay, you will get your ATT within 48 hours. And the countdown starts from the day you get your ATT. So within 6 months, you should have been able to go to whether South Africa, US, or wherever to write your NCLEX and come back. You get it. But the NCLEX, you passing the NCLEX is an exam you have passed. It's forever. But with the ATT, once you get it, within 6 months or less than 6 months, you should be able to go and write your NCLEX and come. I hope you get me.
So you have 3 years to, write your NCLEX exam. Now, once you register with Pearson VUE, then they will give you 6 months to prepare to write the NCLEX. After maybe your first attempt and you don't pass your NCLEX, you can re-register again and write the NCLEX. So the 3 years supersedes the 6 months. Is that okay? So it's like you've been given 3 years before the approval expires. Now, within the 3 years, once you register with Pearson VUE, now you are given 6 months to prepare and write the NCLEX. So after the first attempt and you fail, you can still register again and you don't have to do a new credential evaluation again. Is that okay? Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for the opportunity. Please, I want to find out if you register with you and you're able to pay the initial $2,200, and after 90 days you are not able to raise the funds to pay for within the 90 days. What happens?
Oh, don't worry. I mean, we are all Ghanaians, and I mean we have clients that are still, but at least you should make an attempt. So it's not like 90 days now soon. You can be paying it. Maybe this month you got maybe $100. You got maybe $50. By the time you realize you'll be done, you don't have to wait till the 90 days before we'll be chasing you. Is that okay? Yeah. It's flexible. All right. So at this point, we will end our. You have a. Come again. Can you speak up a little? The NCLEX rate is $200. But if you are writing it outside the US, you pay extra $150. So in all, it will be $350. But if you are writing it in US, it will cost you $200 to register with Pearson VUE. However, if you are writing it outside US, the total should be around $350. For example, you are traveling to South Africa. The registration and scheduling the exams alone will cost you $350. Is that okay? Yeah. And now the Ghana cedi is doing well. Is it 11 or 10? Is it 11 or 10? 12 point. Oh, yesterday it was around 11. So what you can do is that you can go and buy dollars, put them down, All right, so at this point, we will end our Q&A here. All that I want to say is that this process is doable. Use this opportunity to help the next generation of yourself. You're not just doing for yourself alone, but look at your kids. You have the opportunity to also travel with your spouse. I mean, they all get a green card. Your kids will have better education. At least they are guarantee of, a good life once they are ambitious. And you have a fulfilled, profession and other, benefit that comes with it. So we thank you all for coming. We have a refreshment. Madam Vida will touch more on that, how that one will go. And there's also a picture session. We just want to have a memory of, you attending this conference. There's a photo gallery. You can take some pictures.